What's up, Detroit? It's your friend Darius P. I threw the P in this time just to be different, but I'm very excited about my special guest today, Gerard.
Hi.
I just know about Gerard. What's your last name?
They don't call you Darius the legend anymore.
No, we switch it up all the time. But welcome, my friend. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
I have known you about 10 years now.
Yeah, well, 9 or 10 years, yeah.
Let's start with that. So
well, you were a little boy.
Right. I think I was like 5 or something like that. No, so Gerard has always been, let me do a little intro, and a very cool, very like, we vibe from the moment that we met. He has like this cool French accent and a little twist of Maui style and entertainment and rock and all that mixed in. A cool guy. Is that about right?
Yeah, thank you.
And so from the first time that we met in Birmingham, because at the time I was working with Denise and on the 220 restaurant and all that good stuff. And
I think the first deal I did with you was an advertising for my gallery in the Ambassador magazine.
Exactly, back in Ambassador Day. So that lets you know how long it's been. And the thing that I just, we were very similar in a sense of just being relaxed, doing some great stuff and some cool stuff. The thing that really got me like really into your world was finding out about your musical background and your musical experience. So why don't you kind of walk us through that, like your sound engineering from Duran Duran and all that stuff. Like, how did you get started with that?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you know that, but in France, when you get 20 years old, you have to go to the army.
Okay.
You have to do
just automatic.
Automatically.
Is that still now, or
I think now it's over, but at the time it was. Yeah.
Okay.
So I tell you how old I am. and so I went to the army, and my dad was in the a builder, and he was expecting me to take over his business, of course.
Okay.
But I didn't feel like it. So I told my dad I'm gonna go to Paris and I'm gonna attend art school.
Nice.
So I moved to Paris to go to art school. But I arrived in Paris on the middle of July, I think.
Okay.
And in France, summer, everything is closed. July, August, everybody's in vacation. Nothing is open.
I would think it would be open for like tourists and things of that nature.
No. I mean, tourist stuff.
Okay.
But I'm talking school.
Okay.
So the school was not was closed. So I took a friend of mine tell me, hey, if you need to make some money for the summer, I'm an assistant in a recording studio. We need some help. If you want to come over and help me, you can make some money and
nice.
For the summer. So I did. So I went and I started as an assistant in a recording studio for EMI Record in Paris.
Okay.
And
that's a heck of a part-time gig.
Yeah, but assistant, you sweep the studio, you set up the microphone, you get coffee for the musician when you get sandwich when they're hungry. I mean,
right.
Basically you do everything.
He said it was so glamorous, but it was fun.
Yeah, but it was fun. Yeah. So and on the end of the summer, after working there for 2 or 3 months, a little episode happened with a band coming from England called the Thompson Twins. I don't know if you remember those guys.
Familiar.
Kind of like 80s music.
Okay, I love 80s, by the way.
And they come to the recording studio, and the sound engineer, the drummer, wasn't happy at all with the sound of his drum.
Okay.
So my boss, the sound engineer, was like working really hard to try to get the sound that the guy wants, but we tried different microphone, we tried different setup and everything. It wasn't working for him. The guy, the drummer, keeps saying, "I wanna hear my drum like I am playing in a cathedral or in a church."
Yes,
it was like a big sound.
Yeah.
So me, as an assistant cleaning the studio, I find something interesting. The studio was built in an old public bath, and the bathroom was all white tile, like hospital tile. The floor, the ceiling, the wall, and everything. And the reverb in this room was amazing. You would clap your hand and So I went to the drummer. I said, "Look, can I have an idea. Can I show you something?" And he said, "What do you want to show me?" I said, "Can you come with me to the bathroom?" And I'm like, "What?"
Right. Especially the music industry.
I said, "No, just I want to show you something." So he followed me to the bathroom. I tell him, "Stand on the middle over there." And suddenly I say, "What?" And he said, "Clap your hand." So he stand on the middle of the room, he clap his hand, and So he looked at me and say, what do you have in mind? I say, well, I think if we put your drum set here and we pull the microphone and the cable here and you play here, you might get the sound that you want.
Nice.
So he looked at me and said, let's try. So we bring the drum set, we bring the microphone, we bring the cable with the video on him, the camera like I have here on him to be able to see him from the control room and everything. And when he hit the drum, he was so happy. So we recorded the entire album like that with the guy in the toilet, in the bathroom, and the rest of the band in the room. Yeah. And so anyway, that was kind of like, my idea.
This is the start.
Then at the end of the summer, when I tell my boss, I say, okay, well, I'm done here. I'm going to go back to school and everything. He look at me and say, so you're going to be a starving artist? I'm like, why do you say that? He said, because unless you become Picasso, you're going to be a starving artist.
Right.
I say, well, you never know, blah, 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 He said, look, you have good ideas, you're good, you're smart. If you stay with me, I teach you, and you're going to make more money, and you're going to have more fun.
You can imagine.
So I thought about it for a couple of days, and I said, fuck it, I'm going to do it, So I became assistant sound engineer. Then after a few years, I became a sound engineer and a record producer, and I did all. So
you worked your way up.
I worked for EMI from, I think my friend is here.
Okay.
I worked for EMI from 1974 to 1991.
Okay. Yeah, that's almost 20 years.
Yeah. So what was interesting in this recording studio, 1 week I would work with an English band, another week I would work with a jazz band, another week I would work with a philharmonic orchestra with like 80 musicians and string and everything.
So the whole gamut.
Yeah. Another time it would be like a marching band. So I learned to appreciate every kind of music because I it was around crazy.
Yeah.
So I met some interesting people at the time like Tina Turner, David Bowie, Pink Floyd, all of that.
Yeah. Real quick, I love how you say these names and everybody's like, oh my God, Tina Turner and David Bowie, and this was your life and is your life, just dealing with these amazing
I was
artists.
the guy who pushed the button when they're singing, when they're playing, it's just like, I was, so it was fun, but
I was going to ask you, like, what got you into the gallery? Because you started the Maui gallery before.
Yeah, well, after I finished the recording industry, I got tired of it at some point, and at the time I met my ex-wife, and she happened to be from Maui.
Okay.
So we get married in Paris. Then I moved to Maui.
Okay.
And in Maui, are we taped?
No, not yet. Yeah, Ryan will give us the thumbs up. Yeah, this is all good stuff. I want that for here.
How are you?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you got into the music industry. And since you were in school and you had a love for art, what brought you to the point of having a gallery?
Well, when I left the music industry, I got married with my ex-wife, and she happened to be from Maui, from Hawaii.
Okay.
So we got married in Paris. I moved to Hawaii. When I got to Hawaii, I tried to find another job in the music industry, but the studios there are really small.
Sure.
The music industry is really tiny. There was no money, so I'm like, okay. So so I saw that Lahaina. You've been to Lahaina?
I have for my honeymoon.
Yeah. So and you saw all of the gallery on the street, the main street.
Yes.
So
beautiful.
So I was thinking, okay, there is no music industry. I'm going to do something else. So I have a background of art, and I have a major in history of art and art.
Yes.
So I decided to open a gallery.
Okay.
So I opened a gallery and an art gallery, but Maui, if you've been there, so it's all of the gallery are doing the same thing: fish, whales. Turtle,
right. Aquatic, anything
aquatic,
that's like
a beachscape and stuff.
Right.
And me, when I show up there and I look at that, I'm like, I'm not going to do one more like that. That's kind of boring. So I use my connection in the music industry.
Right.
To set up a gallery was very unusual. I call it Celebrity Gallery.
Okay.
And I feature artwork by Ronnie Wood of the Rolling Stone.
Yes.
By Paul McCartney, by David Bowie, by Tony Bennett, by every single performer, artist who was doing art on the side.
Wow. So who knew there was so many artists that were doing?
Well, I knew because I was in the music industry.
Right. So you knew.
But nobody knows. So I get this collection, this amazing collection with John Lennon. I work with Yoko Ono and John Lennon.
Wow.
I mean, John was dead already, but I work with widow.
Okay.
But I featured John Lennon artwork. I featured David Bowie's artwork. Jerry Garcia. I mean, it's crazy. There is a lot of musicians who are doing art on the side.
That's so interesting.
You know,
It's just
these
that creative
guys,
space.
they do an album, they go on tour for 6 months, and after they have like 4 or 5 months, they have nothing else to do.
Downtime.
So they're just like, you know, doing stuff. Yeah. So that was what got me in the music industry. Yeah.
That's so interesting. And then again, like I like to like really think about what we're even saying. Like, so you were able to, you built up a rapport with the people in the music industry.
Well, I give you an idea. The first one I called was Ronnie Wood from the Rolling Stone because I know him. So I called him. He was in London. I was in Hawaii. I say, Ronnie, are you still painting? And he said, yeah. I say, you know what? I think I can sell your painting. I'm opening a gallery. I think I can sell your painting. He said, well, where are you? I said, I'm in Maui. He said, where is Maui? I said, it's in Hawaii. He said, what are you doing there? I said, well, I moved there. I'm married. I'm changing my career, and I'm opening an art gallery, and I want to have your work.
Yeah. So
he said, dude, I send you some. You know, so he sent me some of his work. You know.
Nice.
Then I did the same thing with Jerry Garcia because I know his manager. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Paul McCartney. Same thing with Ringo Starr. And you know, then on the beginning you have only 2 or 3 guys. Yeah.
Right.
But it's a very small circle of people. So when you do well for one, when I sold like thousands and thousands of dollars of money with painting, at some point I was the one that they call. Hey,
Exactly.
do you want my art?
I got a few paintings here. Can you sell them for me?
I got Paul Stanley from Kiss in the gallery one day. He was in vacation. He came to my gallery and he saw all of this artwork by everybody. And he came to me and said, you know, I paint too.
I want to be in here. Yeah.
I said, okay, well, why not? You know.
Right.
So that was the gig. Yeah.
That is
fun,
so awesome. And I think it's perfect time to send prayers and good thoughts to Maui. It's unbelievable the what went on. I actually learned about it initially from you.
It's a tragedy.
It's a tragedy.
My gallery was in Lahaina on Front Street. My house was in Lahaina on Front Street, nearby my friend Monique that you met, the French lady, and everything is just burned down.
Oh my God! I didn't know your gallery and your house was as well.
My kid went to school in Lahaina when they were growing up, and it's a tragedy. I have some. I mean, thankfully nobody died, but
exactly.
I have friends who lose their house. The lady that you met in Maui, my friend, her house is gone.
That's
my
so
friend Mick
crazy.
Fleetwood lost his restaurant. Another friend of mine who's a printer that I print stuff for me. Sometimes same thing is. Business burned down, yeah.
It's so amazing.
You know, Lahaina was a very old town, built in 1800. Everything was made of wood.
Yes.
So it just burned like matches, just like that.
What's the name of that tree?
The banyan tree.
Banyan tree. We were going to go to that. We didn't make it.
They're going to save it, I think, because it's been there for like 200 years.
Exactly.
And they say that the roots are so deep that they might be able to revive it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was never as scared as I was when I drove on the road to Hana. It was such a great experience. It was our honeymoon. It was 2 months before the fire happened. We went to Mama's Fish House.
Yeah, that's
great, amazing food.
Yeah.
But you know, there's a certain point where visitors stop.
Well, the road to Hana is a very windy road and very narrow. So sometimes you have a bus coming on the other side. And it's like, then on one side it's like really deep, like
you don't want to go. And I realized that we went too far when there was no railing and it was just straight drop. And the scariest part was when we were coming back and everybody's trying to, and sometimes I think you go 5 miles per hour or something like that, but you're coming around a mountain and literally the sun was in my eye. I couldn't see and I'm just like, oh my God. But it was an amazing experience. I thank you because we connected with you to get, references on what to do. But, again, my heart, if you have the means, if you have resources or what have you, please support the people of Maui because
there is different fun. Oprah set up something.
Yes.
Mick Fleetwood set up some kind of a fun also, like a charity thing. So
yes.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to rebuild. It's never going to be the same, but
Exactly.
they're going to rebuild. It's going to take time.
And when I was there, I talked with a realtor, and he was saying, I don't know I thought he said 3%. Only 3% is buildable land in Maui. It's a really small amount that you could build on.
Yeah, it's not like Honolulu where it's like skyscraper and
Right.
stuff like that. In Maui you cannot build more than 3-story.
Okay.
And and they don't let. Yeah, it's very difficult to get a building permit.
Right.
Yeah,
Wow.
they try to preserve it.
Yes, for sure.
There is another island who's like really interesting too. It's called Molokai, and there is nothing there. There's nothing.
You just live in a tent.
There's one hotel, one restaurant, one bar, and one grocery store, and that's it.
And is it really small? A lot smaller?
It's small, and there is really it's like Maui. It's like Hawaii was in the 1700s.
Okay,
There is nothing.
okay.
Yeah. It's
Yes.
really beautiful. Yeah.
I was really intrigued with learning the history of Hawaii and
Yeah.
all that. So we will be back. At the time I had tore my Achilles, and so that flight was no joke.
Yeah.
It was like 9 hours on the way back.
Yeah.
But so you're established in the music industry. You started a gallery in Maui.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get to Michigan? How did we get the chance to meet each other?
Well, my first gallery worked very well. I opened another gallery, then I opened a restaurant. Then I opened a clothing store.
Okay.
Then a jewelry store and a coffee store.
Wow.
So at some point I was just into business up to my heel.
Right.
My ex-wife was really good with business, and we keep opening places in place. And I was very busy. I'd barely see my kid growing up.
Yes. Yes.
Then then at some point we got divorced.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I'm French. I couldn't keep it straight.
I get right.
so my ex-wife got tired of me, basically, and my eccentricity, and we divorced, and she moved to Los Angeles with my kid.
Okay.
So I find myself alone in Maui.
Yes.
I stay for another year or year and a half, and I'm like, what am I doing here? It's not, it's not fun anymore. Without
Right.
my kid, without my family, is not fun anymore.
Right.
So I start looking for a place to move my gallery somewhere else on the mainland. Originally, I put my site on Austin, Texas.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I like Austin. It's a big music town, and the weather is good.
You're
And,
right.
So I went to Austin. I visit a space that I really like across the street from the W Hotel downtown. Really nice place. And on the end, the people who were supposed to leave and end up not leaving. The space wasn't available.
Okay.
A friend of mine who live in Birmingham called me and told me about my gallery. They told me, Gerard, you should come here. There is a gallery across the street from the Tansen Hotel. It's a beautiful space. It's been there since 1975. It's
Nice.
a very established business. The owner passed away.
Okay.
No family. They're just going to shut down the place, and you should come and take a look. So I came to Birmingham. I flew to Birmingham. I've never been in Michigan before.
Okay.
I flew to Birmingham. I stayed at the Tansen. I visit the space across the street, and I fell in love right away because I have two levels.
Right.
I have a street level and I have a basement. And I find out that that was a very good way to have two galleries in one building.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I have the first floor where I have fine art painting,
That's
by
right.
beautiful artists, and I have the downstairs where I have like rock and roll
Exactly.
photography, which
From
is
some of the musicians that you
from
spoke
some
with.
musician that I know and some photographer, rock and roll photographer that I know also. So it's kind of fun because I have two galleries in the same building.
That's right. Absolutely.
So that was so I fell in love with the space.
Nice.
Then I bought it, and I remember it was 2014. I bought it. I made the deal in July or August.
Okay.
I flew back to Maui. I packed my stuff. I ship everything here, and I show up in Birmingham. In January.
Well, welcome to Michigan.
Yeah. So I flew from Los Angeles, from Maui to LA. I flew from LA to Detroit, get to Detroit in the middle of the night, take a cab, go to the Tansen, go to sleep. The next morning, open the window. There is 5 feet of snow.
Yes,
There is 5
Michigan.
feet of snow, and I'm looking outside and I'm like, oh my God, I don't have any winter clothes.
Right.
I have only a lower shirt. So my first experience in Birmingham was Somerset, when I went to buy some sweater
Right.
and some jacket
Exactly.
and socks and all of that.
Become a real Michigander.
Yeah, that was my first experience. Now the first winter was really rough. I mean, coming from Hawaii, 20 years in Hawaii,
Yeah.
That was rough, but I'm used to it now. It's cool.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so the gallery is going well.
Yeah.
And you brought something. I've been meaning to ask what's in here.
I bring you some stuff that I print T-shirt.
Okay. So you
And
do
I print.
you have artwork, and then you have T-shirts that kind of
T-shirt,
complement the
jewelry,
artwork.
all kind of stuff. Yeah, watches.
What do we have here? I like to play it loud and elegantly wasted.
It's for one of my painting, and it's a guitar.
Uh-huh.
It's a Washburn guitar, which belongs to me.
Nice.
And I bought it in Toronto when I was in Toronto a long time ago. I was invited by Ronnie Wood again to see the Rolling Stones rehearsing for the tour at that time. I
Nice.
think it was a no security tour, and I think it was 1993 or something like that.
Okay.
So I was in Toronto, and I saw the Rolling Stone rehearsing for like a week,
Nice.
and every night from like 6 p.m. to like 3 a.m.
Okay.
And what fascinates me, it's we were in a room like not a very big room, I would say big like what you see here,
Mm-hmm.
I mean not the studio, but the restaurant.
Yeah, down
yeah.
there. Okay.
And Charlie was having his drum set, Ronnie Wood was having his guitar and his amp, Mick Jagger was having his microphone, Keith Richards was having his amplifier and his guitar,
Yeah.
and next to his amplifier and his guitar was a little table with a bottle of Jack Daniels and some ice,
Yeah.
And all night I watched this guy rehearsing, playing all of the Rolling Stone song and, Mick singing and everything. And all night I watched him pouring Jack Daniels
Yes.
in the glass, drink, smoke cigarette, pour Jack Daniels, drink some more, smoke cigarette. And I was watching him and I said, at some point he's going to collapse.
Right.
It's like 3 a.m.
Right.
He's been drinking
He's like,
all
"No, I
night,
got this."
and he keep playing, keep smoking, keep drinking. I'm like, I was just like mesmerized. Then so after this week there, I have one of this guy was his assistant.
Mm-hmm.
At some point during the night came. Look at the bottle empty, take the empty bottle and put
Put a new
a
one.
brand new one, And he passed by me and I say, hey, what are you going to do with the bottle?
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to throw it away. I said, can I have it?
You're right.
He said, yeah, you can have it. So I get this bottle from Keith Richards, and I was,
Right.
Then on the end of the night, when we would say good night, see you tomorrow, I went to Keith and I said, Keith, could you sign this bottle for me?
Yeah.
And he said, that's my bottle. I said, it's empty. I said,
Right.
He said, yeah, I signed it. So he signed it.
Nice.
And I took it home, And on the same trip, I went to on the afternoon when everybody was sleeping. I went to the pawn shop, and I buy this vintage guitar.
Okay.
So a week later, I went back to my room with my new guitar and my bottle of Jack Daniels. Signed by
Nice.
Keith Richards.
Totally
And,
rock and roll.
And I went into my basement. I plugged my new guitar with my amplifier. I opened a bottle of Jack Daniels and I start playing, drinking,
Yeah.
and I get myself wasted.
You didn't last as long as he did, right?
That's basically what's on the T-shirt. I like to play it loud and elegantly wasted. Yeah.
So that shines a new light. That what you're printing in your shirts and things like is experience of your experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's all art, Music is art.
Yes.
Painting is art. Drawing is art.
Yes.
It's sort of fashion is art.
Yes.
I mean, as far that for me, if you have the vision,
Yeah.
whatever it's a fashion or music or
Yes.
or painting or sculpting or anything, you start with a vision. You have an idea
Yeah.
and you're gonna do it. One day, Paul McCartney was interviewed about that because he paint and he play music and he write song and everything. And this interviewer asked him, I say, what's that come from, this inspiration? He said, you know what? Sometimes I'm sitting on my couch and I got an idea, musical idea. I go to the piano, I grab my guitar and I just play
Just
and I
play,
just
yeah.
write a song. And sometimes middle of the night I wake up and I feel like painting, so I go to my studio and I paint. He say, it's just, he say something interesting. He say, artists are like antenna. We receive like
the signal.
ideas,
Yeah.
inspiration,
Yes.
vibration from somewhere.
Yes.
It's not going to say God or whatever, but from somewhere. And we have the need to exteriorize it.
Yes.
We have the need to write
very
or to
interesting.
paint. So that's his concept. You see. So I
Nice.
think when you are when you are creative and you get this inspiration, you have to do it, because if you don't, you don't feel good.
Yeah, right, exactly. You lose it.
Yeah,
So tell us about, and as we mentioned, I mean, you've talked about a lot of names who have been, you've kept in contact, kept relationships with, Steven Tyler, and I know Paris Hilton has bought a number of your imagery and your designs and your art. But what prompted the partnership on the coffee line with Mick Fleetwood?
Oh, well, Mick, first of all, Mick is my friend for many years. And he have a house in Maui, so we were like, like Steven Tyler, we are all like neighbors.
Nice.
Then when COVID happened 2 years ago, I mean, you remember all of the band, no tour,
Yes,
all tour canceled, everything shut down, you know. So Mick called me and he said, God, I can't believe it. We were supposed to go on a world tour for like 6 months around the world, and we are stuck at home. I mean, don't know what I'm going to do. So I tell him, well, let's do some business. And he said, what? I said, I don't know. I say, well, why don't we start a coffee company?
Yes, yes.
And he said, yeah, why not?
Right.
So we started. We start by sourcing coffee. We start by trying a bunch of coffee.
Yeah, for sure.
Different blend, different origin. Like coffee from Hawaii, of course, first. Coffee from Brazil. So it took us about a year and a half, 2 years to find the source. Find the coffee we like, make the blend with the coffee roaster, try different blend and everything. Then after a couple of years, we end up with like, a product that we like. So we hire a designer who designed the bag.
Nice.
They're from Michigan. It's called Berlin. Jim Berlin is a designer, and he designed a really cool bag,
Awesome.
a coffee bag.
I saw it. It looks great.
Yeah. We have apparel, we have hat and T-shirt and everything, and we start the company. So we're selling coffee. Okay. It's called Mick Fleetwood Coffee Company. We have a Hawaiian blend, of course.
Well, of course.
We have a signature blend, which is the one that Mick likes the most. We have a blend which is a dark roast. It's called Black Magic Woman.
Okay. Yeah.
Black Magic Woman, and we have another one called Hypnotize, which is another song from Fleetwood Mac. So we give the blends, song names from Fleetwood Mac, because it's Mick Fleetwood.
Yes.
And for now it's only available online. We have like Instagram and all of that, and but it's working pretty good. The coffee is good.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I'm French. I'm doing coffee. I mean,
right.
The first thing I do in the morning, I make coffee.
Yes.
So for me, it's like natural. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So where can people find out more information? First about the gallery, second about the coffee.
Well, website, I guess.
Okay.
RobertKidGallery.com.
RobertKidGallery.com. Okay.
Yeah. Or MickFleetwoodCoffee.com.
Okay.
It's pretty simple. And you got everything there. You got like the different blend. You got my website where you can see, all of the stuff available. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is there any events coming up that you want people to know about? I know that you have some artwork centered around the auto show.
Yeah, I just did a show with an artist called Nicolas Rousselet, who's French and designer for GM and paint sports car. So that did very well. We did a show every year for the Dream Cruise.
Okay, excellent.
People like car in this town. I don't know why.
Oh yeah.
and then about every other week I have a show. I have like about 25 different artists in the gallery, so I do a little event for all of them. Sometimes I have music playing.
Awesome.
Sometimes I'm thinking about doing some stand-up comedy also.
I remember you were saying that.
I did it before COVID. It was starting very well. Then we have to stop because of COVID.
Yes.
But I'm going to start again. I have some comedian from Detroit came and do their little routine. It was fun.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, let me know. And when we launch this, maybe we'll do something for that too. Yeah. So if you guys have not checked out Robert Kidd Gallery, you have to go. Every time I'm in Birmingham, I go there. I see something new. You'll see a lot of his artwork in some of your favorite restaurants and buildings in around Detroit or Birmingham. So you need to go to the source, check out the gallery, get you a T-shirt. Or a hat.
Yeah.
What's this one? We don't sleep. He knows me. Well, Gerard, always a pleasure.
Thank you, Darius. Thank you for having me. And,
Thank you.
And I see you soon in Birmingham.
That sounds great.
Okay, bye.
That's what's up, Detroit. We'll see you next time.